We're back! After a couple months away, we are finally back to work on our 1964 Triumph TR4. It is a beautiful day in February right now, like surprisingly nice. I actually don't remember what we still need to do, but the first thing we're gonna do is our alternator that we put on this car was actually not charging the battery. I think we've just got a lemon. It was a refurbished alternator that we purchased, and I think it was just bad. So we got a replacement. It was under warranty. So first thing we're gonna do is just slap that back on and get that out of the way. And then, I don't know what we're gonna do with after that. So stay tuned and we'll find out together. So here's our replacement alternator, covered under warranty from Advance Auto. So that worked out all right, although it's kind of annoying to have to do this again. It's interesting, there's a few subtle differences between the two alternators, but this one looks like it's going to work pretty well. The last time we did this, we cut off this little nub right here, but I don't think we're going to do that this time. Last time we had to put a whole bunch of washers behind here to get the belts to line up, so we're just going to leave the nub on this time. And then the only other modification we're going to make is that right here on the body of the alternator, that kind of fouls on the front plate of the engine. So we're going to just do a little gentle filing right there to try to get us a little more clearance there. We got our alternator put back on, and we kind of immediately realized that the pulley doesn't line up quite as well as we had hoped. It's definitely too far forward compared to the water pump and the crank pulley. So we're gonna pop that off and shave just a little bit off that nub on the alternator. Alright, so we got our belt back on. Everything is lined up like really perfectly. I think it's probably a lot better than it was before. So unfortunately, it's not really quite warm enough to go for a drive today and find out if it squeals or anything like that. So might be a few months before we find out how successful we were here, but should be good. So yeah, so what are we gonna do now?
Eat lunch.
Lunch. Got it. Alright, so hopefully nobody's tired of watching us fix things we maybe should have fixed before when the body was off. But eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed a slight issue with our car. Did you see it maybe here? Or here? Yeah, our transmission has a massive oil leak between the overdrive, and the transmission. Let's take a look.
What the hell? Now, right here, right between the back of the transmission into the overdrive unit, it's all wet. Wow. I don't see any back here. Oh, that filler, that drain cap's leaking a little bit too. You can see a trail from the drain plug going back this way.
Oh. Well, that couldn't be it, could it?
You know, that's a real good question.
So is it the...
See the trail
Yeah.
from the threads? It comes back.
Then it hits the spot that we thought was leaking.
By God, you might have something there.
We just got a plug that needs tightening. That would sure be a lot easier
Well,
than
or-
taking the rest of this off.
Or you put pipe dope on it or
On
something.
there. Yeah, because that's just dry.
You know what? I don't know.
Well, what we could do this week, rather than
Get everything wiped off.
wipe everything off.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
It's like syrup. It's about 40 degrees out here. This stuff's like syrup. Well, maybe what we should do, drain what's left out of there, clean all this up, and then refill it and see what we've got.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Oh.
We got our plug back in, cleaned up the mating surface here, cleaned up where this gasket's at, and we're gonna fill it back up with oil and let it sit. Kind of keep an eye on seeing if anything still leaks, and hopefully we will find that this plug was our problem and we don't have to replace the gasket there, because that would be quite a bit of work. Might involve dropping the transmission. So we're definitely going to do this first and just find out if it actually leaks. So can you tell us a little bit about this pump you got here, Dad?
$18 at Fleet Farm. What else is there to say?
Why do you need it?
Because the fill plug is in the side of the transmission. And with the flexible hose, you can get it in there and pump in what you need. You know, even if we had that cutout in the trans cover, I think you'd still need something like this to, well, maybe not. Maybe you can run a tube and a funnel and get it, but
Yeah, this is pretty convenient way to fill it up. Doesn't make too much of a mess.
you just get a tired thumb.
All right, so that's it. We're gonna have to leave you in suspense, as we are, as to whether or not our transmission is leaking or if it was just the plug. So, hey, find out next week. Come back next week. So that's gonna do it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below if you're happy that we're back working on the car, because I know we sure are. And can't wait for the warmer weather to come here so we can get back on the road. So We'll see you next time.